APC assurance.
We have decided today, during this inauguration, to suspend the relevant traditional institution in the area.
Negligence of duty, Bauchi State Governor suspends Emir of Misau. Good evening and welcome to the news on NTA. We are reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jummai Yusuf. We hope you are adhering to all safety guidelines. Not to worry, we will win the fight against COVID-19. Tonight, Adela Kami Akere will join us from Lagos, Abdurrahman Jibrila is in Sokoto, and Agatha Awere Ojo will join us from Benin. Thanks so much for joining us. We begin with security reports. The Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has obliterated a Boko Haram terrorist meeting venue along with other structures and neutralized several of their fighters at Meakere on the fringes of the Sambisa forest in Borno State. The air interdiction mission was executed on the 2nd of July 2020 to mark the launch of subsidiary Operation Long Reach 2 after a series of intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions had established that a prominent building in the middle of the settlement was being used as a meeting venue where terrorists plan and launch attacks as well as house some of their fighters. Consequently, the ATF dispatched a force package of Nigeria Air Force fighter jets to attack the location. The first jet and the first wave of the attack recorded a precision bomb strike on the designated target, completely destroying it. Boko Haram terrorists were also killed as a result of the strike. The chief of the air staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, is in Maiduguri personally overseeing the conduct of Operation Long Reach 2. Troops of Operation Safe Haven have killed 2 armed robbers in Rock Haven, general area of Jos North Plateau State. A statement by the coordinator, Defense Media Operations, Major General John Eneche, indicates that the criminals were eliminated in encounter sequel to intelligence report on the activities of the robbers in the area. General Eneche notes that some of the criminals escaped with bullet injuries and arms were recovered from the operation. Some days ago, some groups in Kaura local government alleged in some quarters the presence of over 600 armed bandits at Zangang Hills. The Kaduna State government reached out to security agencies for immediate action on the issue. In a statement by the Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, Operation Safe Haven and a detachment of the Special Forces of the Nigerian Army carried out extensive fighting patrols to the Zangang Hills on the 21st of June, stretching up to Kagora Hills and other suspected hideouts, but encountered no bandits throughout the extensive fighting patrols. The Kaduna State government commends the officers and men for a job well done and reiterates its appeal to aggrieved communities and individuals and groups not to resort to self-help and jungle justice, but rather comply with the rule of law to avoid vicious circles of reprisal. The Nassau State government says enough is enough of increasing cases of kidnapping and armed robbery in parts of the state. Assessing the situation at a meeting in Lafia, Governor Abdullahi Sule reiterated federal government's commitment to ensure severe penalty for perpetrators as it entrenches community-based surveillance mechanism to fight crime.
In the past few months, no day passes without the people raising a red flag about security challenges. The worst hit is the Western Senatorial Zone, which is close to Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Governor Sule says state government is seeking for more federal support.
We are working along with the federal agencies, all the police, DSS, the Air Force and the military, to ensure that we are able to rescue the people who have been kidnapped and taken into the bush in that area. We are also trying to use the opportunity to see what we can do to reduce the risk in that area.
The meeting notes rising cases of COVID-19 among medical personnel. Government advised residents to take responsibility and adhere strictly to protocols to contain the pandemic. In Lafia, Aliu Tijan Mohammed, NTA News.
To other matters now, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, says the conditional cash transfer program will continue to be on the top list of President Buhari's administration, considering how the program has changed the lives of vulnerable Nigerians, especially in the midst of COVID-19. The minister stated this while inspecting the disbursement of cash for May and June in Lokoja, Kogi State. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports.
122,832 beneficiaries for the conditional cash transfer in Kogi State have been earmarked to benefit from the monthly 5,000 naira in the $322.5 million Abacha loot as directed by President Muhammadu Buhari. Out of this number, 74,162 beneficiaries have been enrolled and are being paid. This is in addition to 34,456 beneficiaries that are currently benefiting in Kogi State, as 48,661 vulnerable Nigerians in the state are waiting to be enrolled into the program. The humanitarian minister told Governor Yaya Bello of Kogi State that the federal government will not leave any stone unturned towards improving the welfare of vulnerable Nigerians.
Today we are continuing with the payments for the months of May and June, as we shall observe at the Falele Payment Center, which is expected to benefit 62,129 individuals.
Let me express on behalf of myself, the government and the good people of Kogi State, profound appreciation to Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, the father of the nation, very compassionate, for these wonderful efforts that is putting forward in ensuring that the citizens generally is self-sufficient.
The Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Vice Marshal Muhammadu Muhammad, was part of the minister's entourage. From Lokoja in Kogi State, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
As the rainy season commences, the federal government has commenced the distribution of agricultural inputs nationwide to support farmers' post-agricultural activities amidst coronavirus pandemic. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Mohammed Nanono flagged off the distribution in Lokoja, Kogi State. Musa Baba Ali reports.
The rainy season is close to its peak across the country, a very crucial period to farmers. And at a time like this, farming inputs such as seeds and fertilizer are next most important. However, the social and economic challenges occasioned by the coronavirus affect the prices of farming inputs.
Due to all this lockdown here and there, at the end of the day, people cannot go to the farm.
Dry season of farmers, they have no money. So many people run away because before you plant two muddles, you are going to 1,000.
The palliative coming from government is to assist farmers with quality seeds and seedlings and boost agricultural activities amidst COVID-19.
The minister takes the issue of food security and health of the population seriously. These seeds are being given to the beneficiaries free of charge, while other input given at 75% subsidy.
For Kogi State, the farmers are going home with more than 134,000 kilograms of assorted seeds, comprising soybeans, sesame, cocoa, cashew, orange-fleshed sweet potato, and organic fertilizer.
The result is expected: increase in food production, improvement in the livelihood of our people.
We are going to put more efforts so that the production will be increased more than before.
That will enable us to improve whatever we are producing based on the best agricultural practice globally.
From Lokoja, Kogi State, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The recent drastic drop in the prices of oil has shown the need to increase Nigeria's refining capacity in oil and gas. To support the establishment of refining facilities, the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, in a virtual meeting, has signed a shareholder agreement with the Pearl Midstream Company Limited and Eric's Gun in Nigeria Nigeria Limited for the establishment of an energy park in Edo State and a lubricating oil terminal in Bayelsa State. Muplak Dakok reports that the projects are expected to create at least 1,500 jobs in line with the federal government's resolve to create more jobs.
The partnership between the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board NCDMB and the two companies worth 25 billion naira is aimed at job creation, petroleum products availability, and development of in-country capabilities in oil and gas.
These two partnerships are expected to create about 1,500 direct, indirect, and induced employment opportunities. Our expectation is that this will be achieved in less than 2 years from now.
With the new partnership, DuPont Company will construct an energy park in Edo State comprising of 2,500 barrels per day modular refinery, 30 million standard cubic feet per day gas processing facility, and 2 megawatts power plants.
The DuPont partnership is in furtherance of our strategy to enhance in-country value addition by supporting the establishment of processing facilities close to marginal or stranded hydrocarbon fields.
The partnership with Erascon is to establish the first lubricating oil blending plant in Bayelsa State, which will be deployed for the production of other chemicals.
Erascon spending in the nearest future as we go in this partnership will be written as a good story of NCDMB partnership.
The mission, which will commence 1 month from now, is to serve as a catalyst for the industrialization of the Nigeria oil and gas industry and its linkage sectors, as the year 2020 is declared the year for gas development in Nigeria. Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
Let's take our first break now. More reports from across the country when we return. Do stay.
I wish to once again commend the frontline workers across the country who, on a daily basis, risk everything to ensure we win this fight. For those who got infected in the line of duty, rest assured that government will do all it takes to support you and your families during this exceedingly difficult period. I will also take this opportunity to assure you all that your safety, well-being, and welfare remains paramount to our government. I am using this opportunity to express our deepest condolences to the families of all Nigerians that have lost their loved ones as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is our collective loss, and we share your grief.
You see, as I talk to you plenty now, because I get glue too, that make me talk. Please, I be not be so. All right. Don't be say I won't talk plenty. Una no self say I not dey lie. You see this glow? If you get them, una no go even una go just they talk they go because it's not there.
Enjoy international calls from as low as 40 kobo per second from Nigeria to the world. Call your loved ones today.
Thank you, my sister. You do well, eh?
Glow Unlimited.
This kind of nonsense has to end today. Why would the bank be removing somebody's money every time like that?
Mr. John.
My neighbor.
Yes, sir. Why are you rushing to like this?
Can you imagine? I just sent money to my son, and I got a debit alert of 15 naira from my bank as stamp duty. I am going to seek explanation from my bank because I made a transfer, not post a letter.
Mr. John, let me explain what stamp duty is. Stamp duty is not all about postage stamp matters. The 15 naira is a stamp duty levy charged by banks on customers who make transfers of 10,000 naira and above from one bank account to another bank account.
And why should I pay stamp duty for my hard-earned money?
Mr. John, paying stamp duty levy is a civic duty for every patriotic citizen. The taxes we all pay are collected and used by the government to pay salaries and provide basic amenities for citizens. It's even easier easier to make stamp duty payments now. All you need to do as a taxpayer is to log on to the following: www.stampduty.gov.ng or www.firs.gov.ng and click on e-stamping. By the way, Mr. John, it pays to pay your tax, you know.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you, my daughter.
You're welcome,
My
sir.
regards to your family.
All right, sir.
This broadcast is powered by FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue Service.
The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemieson, invites federal civil servants to participate in the innovation competition across ministries, departments, and agencies. The introduction of an innovation culture in the federal civil service is to source for innovative ideas and solutions for better, cheaper, and more accessible public service. The move will increase revenue and cut cost of governance. Details: service-wide sensitization, 6th July 2020, time 11 a.m. Submission deadline, 13th July 2020. Awards ceremony, 31st July 2020. First prize, 3 million naira. Second prize, 1,750,000 naira. Third prize, 1 million naira. Consolation prizes of 200,000 naira for 10 people. For more info, please visit www.ohcsf.gov.ng. Email innovation@ohcsf.gov.ng or call 080-66-162-995. Permanent Secretary, Service Policies and Strategic Office. Announcer.
Many Nigerian women, by their contributions to their societies, though they are gone, we still remember them. Today, from northern Nigeria, a living legend is in the making. Ambassador Dr. Fatima Mohammed Goni is an outstanding grassroots political mobilizer. She is one woman who stood and identified with the vulnerable.
Since I was young, if I see people around me happy, I was happy. If I see people, they are not happy, I'm not happy.
This woman is using everything at her disposal to make life worth living for millions of people.
Dr. Ambassador Fatima Goni, I love her because of her commitment to what is on the faces of the less privileged.
The foundation, I think, came as a result of her humility.
We can't let all this effort go uncelebrated. Let's recognize and support the noble efforts of this rare Nigerian woman.
The leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, in collaboration with the Nigeria Interreligious Council, NIREC, is pleased to invite you, your close friends and associates, to the National Interdenominational Church Prayer Service. Team, the Lord Heal Our Land of COVID-19 Pandemic, 2 Chronicles 7 verse 14. The prayer service will by God's grace take place at the National Christian Center, Abuja, on Sunday, July 5th, 2020, beginning from 3 p.m.
The governing board and management staff of the North-East Development Commission wishes to express its sincere appreciation and deepest gratitude to His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for his goodwill and support towards the Commission. The North-East Development Commission also appreciates President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, PhD, CON, Executive Governors from the North-East Region, Hajja Sadia Umar Farooq, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Major General Baba Gana Mangono, retired National Security Advisor, Senator Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf, Chairman, Senate Committee on Special Duties, Honorable Khadija Bakar Abba Ibrahim, Chairman, House Committee on NEDC, Ambassador Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, DG, Nigerian Intelligence Agency, Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Defense Intelligence, Service Chiefs, Inspector General of Police, Director General State Security Service, Commandant NSCDC, Representative of Development Partners and the general public for attending handing over ceremony of operational security vehicles to the Nigerian Armed Forces, ambulances and hospital equipment to federal medical institutions, stroke medical centers, and the formal groundbreaking ceremony of 1,000 houses in Goma local government area out of the 10,000 mass housing program of President Muhammadu Buhari's special intervention to fast-track the settlement process of displaced communities in Borno State. Signed, Muhammad G. Al-Kali, Managing Director, CEO.
Welcome back. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has received the report of the Post-COVID Initiative Committee on the Creative Industry with assurance that the federal government will study the report and act appropriately in a bid to mitigate the negative impact of the pandemic on the sector. Anthony Fossen reports.
The term creative industry is referred to businesses with creativity at its core. For instance, designs, music, publishing, films and video, crafts, visual arts, fashion, television and radio, advertising, literature, among others. This sector is important in a growing economy like Nigeria because skills and talent have the potential to create wealth and jobs. It is against this background that the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, in realizing the negative impact of COVID-19 on the creative industry, set up a committee comprising members of the creative industry stakeholders to come up with a short, medium and long-term proposal that the federal government will use as a guide in catering for the sector in a post-COVID-19 era. At a virtual submission of the committee's report, the Information and Culture Minister said, based on feedbacks that has reached him, he has no doubt that the report that has been submitted is a culmination of painstaking efforts.
The report, which is very rich and detailed, is also very timely, coming at a time that the federal government is looking more towards the creative industry to help revamp the economy in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic.
He, however, commended the 22-member committee chaired by Ali Baba and Sir Ibrahim as vice chairperson. Lai Mohammed said their commitment to the assignment demonstrates their patriotism to their fatherland.
I can beat my chest
among
my peers and say that, to the best of my knowledge, this is the first time this kind of IPA committee will be set up. They will work selflessly for weeks. They will come out and give me a first-class report, and nobody asks for one single day for sitting allowance or drinking allowance.
Chairman of the committee, Ali Baba, alongside other members of the committee, applauded the minister's concern for the industry and assured that they will continue to render their contribution to nation building whenever their contributions are needed. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, is to purchase dexamethasone for COVID-19 patients in poor countries, just as 40 soldiers in South Africa test positive for coronavirus. Here's Joyce Ometo with an update on the pandemic.
The total number of confirmed coronavirus cases globally has crossed 11 million. Figures compiled by Johns Hopkins University as at 6 p.m. show that the world has registered 11,058,889 cases and 525,528 deaths with over 6 million recoveries. Out of these numbers, Africa has 436,710 cases, resulting to 10,696 deaths on the continent. In Nigeria, statistics by the Center for Disease Control indicates that 27,110 cases have been recorded, 616 deaths, and 10,801 patients have recovered. The United Nations Children's Fund is currently working to purchase the steroid dexamethasone for 4.5 million coronavirus-infected patients in low- and middle-income countries. Reports have it that the advance purchase will be made under a deal negotiation led by the UNITAID and Wellcome as part of the World Health Organization's plan to accelerate access to therapeutics. Researchers say the drug will prevent 1 death for every 8 patients treated while on ventilators and 1 for every 25 patients on extra oxygen. Meanwhile, the South African Defense Force has confirmed that at least 40 of its officers have tested positive for coronavirus. The troops are from an infantry battalion based in Cape Town and were deployed to the northern Limpopo province to help another battalion safeguard the border between South Africa and Zimbabwe. Elsewhere in the world, Britain will end coronavirus quarantines for people arriving in England from more than 50 countries, including Germany, France, Spain, and Italy. But the United States is excluded from the list. And that's a global update on COVID-19. Many thanks for watching. I am Joyce Ometu.
The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says schools will reopen on the 3rd of August 2020 for SS3 and Tech 3 students, while JS3 students are to await specific assessment before resumption. The governor, who made this clear at a media briefing in Lagos, said the reopening applies to only day students in the public and private school system. Nosa Osula reports.
The governor, who assured residents that government will continue to be aggressive and proactive in its COVID-19 testing response and management, disclosed that the state is partnering with the private sector to scale up testing and facilities at isolation centers.
www.lasgsafetyreg.com will continue to advise that our people use this portal for registration sake, and they are not meant to pay any form of money. This registration and all of the inspections are free of charge.
The governor made it clear that residents who have symptoms of COVID-19 will be treated for free by the state government. He, however, explained that others without symptoms will bear the cost, adding that such tests must be carried out at any of the accredited private laboratories.
Sport facility and recreational parks in residential estates only will also be permitted to open at this time. And I employ that there will be a maximum of 20 at any of those gatherings.
Governor Sanwo-Olu warned residents to desist from flouting government's COVID-19 guidelines for prevention, emphasizing that defaulters will be prosecuted, particularly for not wearing face masks in public. In Lagos, Nosa Usula, NTA News.
Now, to flatten the curve of COVID-19 pandemic and protect especially the frontline workers, the global diaspora community mobilized funds and procured personal protective equipment worth 48 million naira. The Minister of State Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Zubairu Dada, alongside Chairman CEO Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, presented the items to the chairman and members of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 in Abuja. The minister acknowledged the contributions of Nigerians in diaspora and urged them never to forget home.
About the donations made by the Nigerians in diaspora COVID-19 support group is that all the donated items are world-class, high-quality, durable, reusable, and all are made in Nigeria.
Every state is going to get something. So as they brought them packaged per state, so as you see those items, each state gets their own PPEs and they will be delivered directly. Every state has an SA diaspora who will work with NCDC, PTF to get them to the appropriate destination. So for me, I think it's most commendable. It's heartwarming and touching that despite the challenge, they could put this together. And they still told us this is the first phase.
We did everything locally because we want to help in part of our nation building to help the Nigerian economy.
The Chairman President King Boss Mustafa and Kwara State governments have commended Boa Group through its philanthropic arm, Boa Foundation, for its support to both states in assisting in their fight against COVID-19. Gufan Shaji reports that Boa donated 6 ambulances, food supplies and 100 million naira each to both states.
Winning fight against the ravaging COVID-19 has remained foremost for federal government and groups like the Boa Foundation, who have continued to provide assistance to states to support them mitigate the effect of the pandemic. This time around, Rivers and Kwara states are the beneficiaries.
On behalf of our chairman, Alhaji Abdulsamad Rabi, we are pleased to present these ambulances.
Representative of Boa Foundation says the donations are designed to assist the government in fighting the pandemic to a standstill as number of cases continue to rise in Nigeria.
We are showing our utmost support to present these 3 ambulances in addition to the 100 million naira donated to Rivers State. We also have a truckload of pasta of 4,500 cartons.
And our chairman is very particular about the development of Kwara State. Only interested in our investments here, they are also interested in the well-being of Kwarans.
Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, his Kwara State counterpart Abdurrahman Abdurrazak expressed appreciation for the gesture.
Well, we're very happy with you, and please do not relent in supporting the government of the state.
Has lived up to expectation again. It's not just the buses. Boa gave us 100 million naira, which we're very grateful for.
Boa Group says it has committed about $20 million to various efforts in tackling the virus within Nigeria since the outbreak. In Abuja, Gufan Shahaji, NTA News.
As part of measures to assist the FCT administration in the battle against the spread of COVID-19 pandemic, Exchange Commission has donated an ambulance to assist the administration to flatten the curve in the territory. Ifeanyi Ezumba has details.
Presenting the ambulance to FCT administration, the Acting Director General, Security and Exchange Commission, Mary Udak, observed that since the country recorded its COVID-19 index case in February 2020, the number of affected persons has been on the increase, leading to emergency situations and, in some cases, death. Receiving the ambulance on behalf of the FCT Minister as an essential commodity, adding that the ambulance would serve the administration beyond COVID-19 pandemic.
The FCT has gone a long way, made more provision of ambulances, made provision of hospitals for COVID-19, testing centers for COVID-19, and we are even yet to experience that number that will be out to populate, one hospital.
The FCT Minister of State emphasized that in the fight against the pandemic, the ambulance will be handy for quick response in moving patients from one place to another with ease. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA News.
Now, Muslims converged on the Abuja National Mosque for a national special Jummai prayers in demonstration of the scriptures, which enjoins man to return to Allah for solutions in all circumstances, like the ravaging COVID-19 and security challenges in the country. Abdullahi Ajia has more from the sermon and prayer organized by the Abuja National Mosque in partnership with the Nigerian Interreligious Council, NIREC.
Beyond the capacity and strength of man to handle situations, Muslim faithful who gathered at the Abuja National Mosque are recouping their spiritual strength through Allah's words as guaranteed in the potency of prayers in all seasons and challenges, which the Imam in his sermon said COVID-19 and insecurity in some parts of the country present, encouraging Muslims to obey laid-down protocols in addition to prayer.
Did today's prayer especially asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have mercy upon the entire humanity, to relieve this COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the other security challenges we are experiencing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relieve it from us. Let us have peace so that the development will continue.
Top government officials, traditional rulers, as well as the diplomatic community attended the special prayer session.
So once we do the best that we can, and government continue to do the best that it's doing, then the rest we will ask God in his wisdom, in his power, to help us to defeat these two monsters that are bedeviling this nation. So I think this prayer is a step in the right direction.
Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has written world leaders and partners to appreciate their support towards helping Nigeria attain a wild polio virus-free status, pledging that his administration would sustain the momentum and strengthen the primary healthcare system. The president also commended Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Chairman, Presidential Task Force on Polio Eradication, and his team for making Nigeria proud and saving her children from the scourge of polio. Elizabeth Omori has details.
In a letter to the world leaders, President Muhammadu Buhari expresses his profound appreciation, commending the leadership of the Presidential Task Force on Polio Eradication and Routine Immunization. The declaration of Nigeria as a wild polio-free country is the result of very effective coordination of the Nigerian Polio Eradication Program through the Presidential Task Force on Polio Eradication and Routine Immunization, Federal Ministry of Health, and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency. President Buhari extends his personal appreciation to all members of the Presidential Task Force on Polio Eradication for making Nigeria proud and saving her children from the scourge of poliomyelitis. He urged the task force to sustain the coordination, especially in mobilizing state governors to provide the needed oversight and resources to sustain the momentum and strengthen the primary healthcare system by providing routine immunization, maternal, newborn, and child health services. The president also wrote a separate letter to the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, thanking the European country for decades of financial support to Polio Eradication Initiative Program in Nigeria through KFW. He assured them that the government will remain committed and focused to ensuring that the needed resources will be provided to sustain the momentum and strengthen the primary healthcare system of our great country. President Buhari also thanked traditional and religious leaders who, through their leadership, built community trust for the polio program, thereby increasing acceptance and ensuring all eligible children are reached with the polio vaccine. Specifically, he wrote Alhaji Muhammad Saad III, Sultan of Sokoto, the leadership, Jamaatul Nasrul Islam, and the President, Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN. The President also wrote separate letters of appreciation to Bill Gates, the European Union, Director General, World Health Organization, Director, U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Executive Director, United Nations Children's Fund, President, World Bank Group, and John Bassa, Acting Administrator, United States Agency for International Development. Others are Global Affairs Canada, President, Japan International Cooperation Agency, and the International President, Rotary International. President Buhari also appreciated the support of Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Chairman, Aliko Dangote Foundation, Sir Emeka Ofo, and Governor Kayode Fayemi in his capacity as the Chairman, Nigerian Governors Forum. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Talking politics now, leader of the All Progressives Congress APC, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu says there is neither rift nor infighting within the ranks of the party, which needs resolution or reconciliation. The APC stalwart stated this while answering questions from journalists after a closed-door meeting with the members of the party's caretaker committee at his Ikoyi residence in Lagos. Nosa Osulu reports.
The national leader noted that the party leadership had trust and respect for the chairman of the caretaker committee and that they were willing to support him to succeed for the party to continue its progressive governance of the country.
Sincerely, we have trust and respect for the character of the chairman of the caretaker committee and willing to support him to succeed for the party to continue its crusade of progressive governance in the country. We are steering the ship of our nation and our party in the right direction.
Chairman of the committee, Governor of Yobe State, who led other members to the meeting, explained that the series of meetings is all part of the consultation being made.
You know, the task before us is daunting and we need their experiences, guidance and prayers.
Other members of the committee in attendance include Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, Secretary of Caretaker Committee of APC, Senator Akpan Udo Edehe, and Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
The People's Democratic Party primary election panel for the forthcoming Ondo State governorship election has announced that 2 aspirants fell short of their expectations. Correspondent Timothy Yusuf reports that the panel's chairman Yakubu Dogara briefed the media following the completion of the assignment. The report.
The 9 governorship aspirants screened behind closed door Ayitayo Jegede, Senator Boluwaji Kunlere, incumbent Deputy Governor Agbola Ajayi, Dr. Eddie Olafeso, Ben Banji Okunomo, Ben Ayorinde, Otumba Bamidele Akingboye, Mr. Gode Erewa, and Shola Ebiseni.
This is my second major attempt at wanting to be governor of Ondo State, so I am not new to being screened.
I'm not happy to report this to you, but that about 2 failed the test, the litmus test that we apply. But that's not to say that they have been disqualified, because we don't have the powers to disqualify anybody. There's still the opportunity of redress at the appeal panel.
The People's Democratic Party's primary election for the Ondo State governorship election is slated for the 22nd of this month. Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has paid glowing tribute to the late Oni of Ife, Oba Adesoju Aderemi, on the 40th remembrance anniversary of the passage of the foremost monarch. In his message by the Special Advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari recalled the imprints of a foremost nationalist, successful businessman, former governor of Western Region and traditional ruler who contributed immensely to the society in the provision of schools, dispensaries, churches and museums, notably in his domain. He attracted the establishment of waterworks, electricity projects and the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. As the family remembers this monarch knighted twice by the Queen of England, President Buhari praised his memory remains evergreen for the guidance and inspiration of current and future generations. You're watching the news at 9 on NTA. Time now to join Adiola in Lagos. Hello, Adiola.
Jummai. The Nigerian Army has inaugurated its restructured Ekpe barracks to increase its reach and effectiveness. The commander, Nigeria Army Corps of Engineers, Major General John Malu, stated that the project is in line with transformational leadership of the Chief of Army Staff and evidence of the generous support of President Muhammadu Buhari. Imola Yotokede has details.
To the glory of God and for the benefit of mankind. So is God.
The facilities include the Quarter Guard, 81 Division-based Ordnance Depot, Nigerian Army School of Finance and Accounting Official Commandant's Residence, among others. The reconstruction of these barracks is as a result of the recent expansion of the Army from 5 divisions to 8, as well as several commands spanning up.
This commissioning is therefore a testimony of the Nigerian Army's quest for peace, security, and prosperity of the nation. 2 units will be moving here to occupy the place, which are the Nigerian Army School of Finance and Administration and the 81 base Ordnance Depot.
This feat, which started barely 7 months ago, was handled by the Nigerian Army Engineers and the Nigerian Army Special Projects.
This inauguration is one of the many activities put in place by the Nigerian Army to celebrate its 157th anniversary. In Lagos, Imolia Yotokide, NTA News.
That's a report. The news will continue with Jummai in Abuja after this time out. To stay on.
The number of the COVID-19 cases in Nigeria is increasing daily, with many more tests ongoing. The battle of testing, isolating, treating, and attending to the affected persons rests heavily on the shoulders of our health workers, constantly putting their lives on the line and at risk to contain this virus, save and protect the lives of millions of Nigerians. To these health workers, we at the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, on behalf of millions of Nigerians, say a big thank you for all that you have done and are doing. To the security agencies enforcing the lockdown and every other frontliner, we say thank you for putting your lives on the line to save ours. There is no amount of words that can quantify our gratitude. Thank you. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Africa's largest television network.
ICPC and NTA say you can help Nigeria to flatten the curve on COVID-19, just as you can help flatten the curve on corruption. Follow transparency, accountability, and integrity just as you follow health guidelines. Stay home with integrity and maintain your distance from corruption, just as you stay away from COVID-19 by maintaining social distance. Report every act of corruption to ICPC just as you report COVID-19 to NCDC. Stay away from corruption, stay safe from COVID-19. Report any act of corruption to ICPC on toll-free number 0800-2255-4272. This message is brought to you by ICPC and NTA.
Foundation. Manchester United welcome Bournemouth to Old Trafford as they look to continue their decent start to Project Restart. Will they take all 3 points, or will Bournemouth throw a spanner in the works? Find out this Saturday on NTA from 2:30 p.m. as Manchester United take on Bournemouth on Premier League Live. Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank and Babai Jebu.
The Emir of Misau, Alhaji Ahmed Suleiman, has been suspended by Governor Muhammad. The suspension is in connection with the recent farmers' herders clash in Malunje village of Zadawa Ward in Misau, local government area of Bauchi State. Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad reports that the governor also suspended the caretaker committee chairman, OS Misau local government, and some traditional title holders in the emirate.
The clash, which broke up last Monday between farmers and herders, has claimed 9 lives.
Following receipt of additional petitions that we have at our disposal from Chiroma district, we have decided today, during this inauguration, to suspend the relevant traditional institution in the area so that they will not interfere with the work of the committee. And they will remain in post, that is in Misau. They are not allowed to go anywhere, and they are to subject themselves to the administrative inquiry.
Governor Bala Muhammad has also inaugurated the administrative investigative panel into the clash headed by Air Commodore Tijani Babagama, retired.
I am indeed convinced with the caliber of this committee, especially its members. The committee will investigate the root cause of this unfortunate happening, and of course other areas that I mentioned in Chiroma district where this is likely to happen.
Of life has been lost just because of the carelessness of some elements. With this government, we are not going to take it, as you said, and we are going to do our best to make sure there is peace in that area.
In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad, NTA News.
Agatha is standing by with more reports in Benin. Hello, Agatha.
Hello, Jummai. A warm welcome to Benin. Documents of the 14 candidates and their running mates for the Edo governorship election have been displayed by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, at its head office in Benin. The personal particulars and academic qualifications of the candidates are on the notice board in INEC office on Saple Road, Benin City, for public scrutiny. It is in line with constitutional requirements and provides individuals who are not satisfied to approach the courts.
These are personal particulars of the candidates, so it's left for the public to scrutinize, look at it and scrutinize whether or not these candidates are really qualified to contest the election. So I think so many other issues can arise from that publication.
This is not the final list. When the window of this process is closed, INEC says it will come out with the finishing list. And that's it from here. Jummai, it's back to you.
Thank you so much, Agatha. Many youth in Benue State are keen to be part of the Batch C Empower program, commending federal government for initiating a platform that has transformed the lives of numerous Nigerian youth. Elias Itiaf, who monitored the ongoing registration of the program in Makurdi, reports that apart from the initial hitches, the exercise is now moving on seamlessly.
For the current applicants who are expected to replace batches A and B, they are thankful to the federal government for the opportunity.
This Empower is really beneficial to we in Nigeria, especially the youth who are jobless and we don't have anything doing for now.
The federal government has tried in its own capacity to see that its citizens applied for things like the COVID-19 loans and then the Empower.
They, however, call for due process in the recruitment exercise.
Things are very difficult, but since the government is still identifying with the youth, and some of us have finished school long ago, there is no employment. Since this is an avenue by which government is seeing us through.
There is a challenge concerning the network because like the day that they said that the portal was supposed to open, there was a lot of problems. We were unable to do the registration like last week.
The program is now 1 year, meaning that after 1 year, those who don't have the opportunity now could still reapply as long as you fall within the ages of 18 to 35 years.
In Makudi, Elias, ATF, NT News.
More reports as we join Abdurrahman in our Sokoto studio. Hello, Abdurrahman.
Hello, Jummai. Good evening and welcome to Sokoto. Kebbi State Governor and Chairman Progressive Governors Forum Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has stated that President Muhammadu Buhari has not violated the provision of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by attending the recent APC National Executive meeting at the presidential villa. The governor, who briefed newsmen in Birnin Kebbi while reacting to some issues concerning the party, also debunked the rumor that some of them are planning to defect from the party. Usman Abdullahi Shehu has the rest of the story.
Reacting to criticism raised across the country that President Muhammadu Buhari conducted APC NEC meeting in the villa instead of the party office, and the caretaker committee members took oath of office before the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation. Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu described the allegation as partisanship, explaining that President has not violated the provision of the 1999 Constitution as amended and that of the party. The chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum stated that the President has an obligation to the party by paying his due and attend its meeting.
The oath of office that Mr. President swore when he became president, I don't know of any sentence in that oath of office that could have been violated by Mr. President attending a political party meeting in a virtual manner. Because of the COVID restrictions, the President's itinerary and activities have been adjusted so that he can participate in activities and meetings across the country as part of his official duty and obligation to political party.
Bagudu, who assured that the party will uphold its philosophy of not regarding elections as a do-or-die affair, said APC will not cease to exist beyond 2023 due to commitment and diligence of President Muhammadu Buhari to Nigerian projects, and is trying to make Nigeria better than he met it in 2015. He concluded by debunking the rumors that 6 APC governors were planning to decamp from the party, saying that the Progressive Governors Forum will work for the victory of APC in the forthcoming elections in Edo and Ondo states. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
That's it from here. It's back to Jummai in Abuja.
To Abdurrahman, Sports Update is next.